In the last video, we talked about configuring this messaging settings panel in your profile and settings to enable bulk messaging. For demonstrating how to actually use bulk messaging, I'm going to go ahead and pause the messaging queue so that messages don't go out, they'll just queue up. And what we'll see is that the settings, everything is still intact here, and we will be able to review the messages that are, that would send. So I'm going to head to all contacts, and in here, let's pretend that I wanted to send the same message to people with this follow-up global tag. So first I'm going to go to my advanced filters and just take my global tag here and find follow-up. And so here's my list of 6 people. Cool. Next step is to click bulk actions and choose send messages. So from here you get to pick a snippet to send. So this is going to pull from the same messenger snippets that you've configured in the profile and settings already. This is what you would use on an individual contact that you want to send a message to. So let's pick one of these, and what you'll see below is a sample message. So you can't make edits to this because essentially what you're seeing here is one variation, right? One option of how the message will look when it goes out. If the message that you pick has replacement tokens for the name, the email, the phone number, anything like that, that would be different based on the contact, it will leave that for you to review with the curly braces around it. But anything else, like if you did different versions of the message, or you use the sort of spin syntax to create little, mini thesauruses. So you'd say, how are you today, or what's up today, or whatever. It's going to pick one version of the complete message that would actually go out. So this just lets you review that, yes, this is what we want to send. And it says here that individual messages will vary based on the snippet configuration. So again, all of the many ways that you can provide variation within a messenger snippet will be applied for each individual message that goes out. So everyone will be, randomized to the extent that you set it up when you created the snippet. So once we've confirmed that, yes, this is the message, this is the snippet we want to send, now we're going to pick the context we want to send it to. So I'm just going to pick everyone on this page, that's the 6, and process. It'll ask us to confirm we're about to queue up 6 messages, and it lets us know that we can review, delete, or reorder these in the messaging settings section of the profile and settings page, which is awesome, and it's what we're going to see in a second. So we'll say yes. It's going to go ahead and queue all these up, and there they go. So what we can do now, let's look in a couple different places. So if we opened up an individual contact profile and we scroll down to the activity feed, what we're going to see is a queued message. So the activity feed type is FB Messenger. The status here is queued, and it says when it was queued and by whom, right, on what date and time. So this is the version of the message that was set and queued up for this person. So we can do that for everybody, and they're all going to be in the activity feed as queued. We can also go to the profile and settings page, and down here in the messaging settings panel, which could be collapsed for you, so just open it up if it is, we have this now view queued messages. So there's 6 queued. We also see in the sidebar that there's 6 messages that are queued, and that the queue itself is paused. We see the next check, that's when it's going to try to send again. If the queue is still paused, it'll just set another date for the future and check again. So this is so great. So we can see that there's 6 messages in the queue, and if we click on this button, it's going to actually open up and let us review those messages. So these are a status of queued. We can click this little arrow icon and reorder these messages if we wanted to. We can also click this trash icon and remove them. And yeah, so there we've got what's in our queue. We can refresh if we wanted to, see if any have sent out, and we can hide that queue. So that is how you can add messages to the queue in bulk using the bulk actions. Also, so now there's 4 messages in the queue. If we went to all contacts and let's pull up Jenna, I think this one, and if I opened up an individual contact and went to send a message and I picked a snippet, you'll see that the option here is no longer to send that snippet, but to queue it. So now that we're using this messaging queue, really all activity is going to go into that queue and go out over time. So this prevents us from, sending manual messages at times that don't line up with the configuration settings, right? If we said send a message every 20 to 30 seconds, one goes out automatically and then we manually send one immediately after that. That's not going to kind of fit in with our delays and our sort of throttling that we have put in place. So instead, any messages you want to send are going to be queued. So I can click queue snippet, and that's going to immediately put this message in this person's activity feed in the queue. Now, if I say I actually want that message to go out right away, okay? That's like an important message that I wanted to send to this person. I can simply go to the profile and settings, come down here and view. Now I have 5 queued messages. I can view that. And this last one, hey, this program's the best, I can just drag that up to the top. And now that is message number 1. So that's the message that's going to go out first when I turn the queue back on. So that's always a possibility. If you have an important message, just come in here and drag it up to the top, and it'll go out next in the queue. Go ahead and hide that. And that's really all there is to it. Whether you add messages using the bulk actions, send messages, or an individual contact from the web app, or an individual contact from using the Chrome extension in Facebook, it's all going to add to the queue and they're going to go out. One last thing, just as far as using this messaging queue for bulk messages. Messages will only be processed A, according to the configuration that you set up, and B, as long as you have at least one device running the web app in a Chrome browser that has the extension installed. Okay, so that just make sure that during your working hours, right, whatever hours you've set up for your queue to be running here, make sure that you have a computer up and running with the Chrome extension, active, and that's all you need. It will not take away focus from your mouse and keyboard. It won't interfere with what you're doing. So you can, have it running in the background and do your normal work, and it'll process. So that's just important to note. That's really all there is to it. I'm not going to start this queue because I don't actually want to send that message out. But if you did start it, you would see, periodically a new tab open on Messenger. It'll send the message, and when the messages go out, you would see that the status in the activity feed for that individual contact, that FB Messenger activity would change from queued to look as if it was sent, right? So it'll say when it was added. It won't say queued anymore. So that gets updated as well, and the message would move into a sent queue that you could also review. So that's all there is to it. Hope you enjoy this. Again, this is a feature for the Pro plan. So go ahead and upgrade if you want access to it. You can just come to your profile and settings, click Manage Plan, and choose the upgrade option from there. Thanks a lot.